Brilliant. Well, great to see you again, Ryan, and thank you so much for having a bit of a chat and a bit of a catch up. So, you started talking a bit about what you want to talk about today. So, just do you want to just elaborate a bit? What's today's topic? What's the focus for today?
Yeah, so I think the focus and something that's important to me is how I feel perceive other people perceive me and how I want to be perceived within the company. So there's like a new role which I've started in the last few months, and within that role, it's like a newish team. We're building lots of tools which are useful within the team. So it'd be nice. We need to be able to pitch these tools to lots of different teams. We need to show that the work which we're doing, is very good. It is very good, but we need to be able to, just explain that to different people as well. And I think in general, it's just, where my career is going. There's a few, there's lots of people here, very senior, who just have quite a lot of, I guess, presence, I would say, within meetings, always speaking with um, confidence, always saying what's on their mind. And I'm trying to work out, I'd like to be perceived a bit more like that. I think at the moment, my roles have always been a lot more technical, so it hasn't been needed, right? So there's a bit of a change in my role and a bit of a change in, how, I think I would like to be perceived within the company.
Okay. So the word perceived or perception is coming up quite a lot, isn't it?
True.
So how you're perceived with the projects you're implementing, but also how you're perceived in a similar way to these senior people, these people around the
Yes.
round table. Okay. What's important about that? What's important about being perceived in a way that you would like?
Yeah, I think it probably ties into a few different things, what we've spoken about in previous sessions, but it is just about just improving my general inner confidence. So, being sure within myself as well, to make sure I am being, um, you know, inwards, I am confident. I mean, it's important for me I think, for progression in just, the sort of roles I'm going to be doing within the next decade or so.
Yeah.
Um, it is, I am still going to be doing technical work, but perhaps moving a bit more into, you know, managerial stuff, perhaps taking on, um, more important roles within the firm. And I think to take on the more important roles, you definitely need to be 100% trusted that you can do exactly um, what they want you to do. And I'm pretty sure my skills are all up there, but whether I'm being um, seen as 100% trusted who can do that, I'm not quite sure I am yet. And there's different reasons for that. I've been, you know, in a company for 5 years. These things do take time, but I think I definitely, in general and spirit, from experience in my other workplaces, I don't help myself too much. I don't sell myself that much at all, really. So just making sure I'm taking advantage of that to help me in my current role and moving forward in future roles as well.
Okay. Thank you for that. So just trying to be clear then, because are you talking about like your skills, like your technical skills and the things that you can do, or are you talking about your, if you like, your interpersonal skills and your presence and the way that a way of being, or are you talking about both?
No, I think I'm talking about interpersonal skills. Yeah, interpersonal skills, the way of being, um, how to be perceived in all interactions really within the workplace. It doesn't just have to be in meetings and board meetings. It can just be in other you know chats which you have around the business
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah,
Okay, the
interpersonal
interpersonal
skills.
stuff. I'm relieved about that because I was a bit worried I'm gonna have to get into your technical world, which is definitely beyond my pay grade. All right, okay. So the end of the session, by the time someone comes and knocks on that door and throws you out of that lovely, lovely meeting room, where would you like to be on this topic?
I think I would like to, I guess, understand a bit more of where these insecurities have started from, and then also, I think understand that I probably do have quite a lot of these interpersonal skills already. Just lean into them a bit more, be a bit more aware of them. I think that's two of the main things, which would be good by the end.
Okay, so understand something about the cause of this, or something about the origins, but
Yeah,
without us turning this into a therapeutic conversation, right?
yeah,
To be clear. But also then some things you can do, some things you can implement.
yeah.
Okay, okay. And if we got to a really good place, if you're like, okay, right, I'm really clear, I've achieved all of that. What do you think it will mean to you over the short term?
I think over the short term, it will give me a good sense of confidence. There's lots of projects going on at the moment, which I'm a bit still a bit hesitant to put myself forward for. But yeah, like I said, I feel I definitely have the skills which are there. It's just about having that confidence to take on those bigger roles. So yeah, I think it'll be just hopefully open up a few more doors for me in the short term, which will have good effects in the long term as well.
Okay. Okay. So achieving this will allow you to go and apply for some of these other roles. And what about a feeling? What do you think that if we achieve this today, what feeling do you think it might develop for you?
Feeling, I guess it will. I guess increase my confidence a bit, increase my happiness a bit. I think at work, inside and outside, taking on these jobs which I know I can do, but perhaps I'm putting myself forward for. I think those are the feelings.
Okay. Okay. Let's hold on to that statement you just said. Apply for these jobs that I know I can do. Okay.
True.
Okay. So
Just,
should we,
yeah,
sorry.
go on.
No, you carry
No, yeah. By the way, they're not really like jobs. It's more just like roles or
on.
like tasks
Yeah.
within the firm.
Yeah.
Like, just big tasks, which um, I know I can do.
Okay, understood, understood. All right. So not so like activities and projects, not necessarily job
Yeah,
applications. Okay, cool. That's good.
yeah,
All right. All right. Let's get into exploring a little bit. I mean, I know some details coming out already. Yeah, I suppose it sounds like that there's two strands. There's this strand of trying to explain, maybe the source of it or the origin or how long it's been in your life, I suppose, this feeling. And then this other thing of actually already seeing your strengths and being able to understand your strengths, and even a third thing of like understanding how people currently perceive you. So which one of those
yeah.
do you think we should start with?
Um, I think we can start with let's start from the beginning. Yeah, where it potentially came from. And then we can move on to my strengths and how people do perceive me
Okay.
currently.
Okay. So I'm always mindful of this question of not asking where does it come from, because I suppose in the coaching context, the actual like pinpointing the moment when when this thing happened as a great revelation is definitely the work of therapists and not of coaches. But I think it is interesting in coaching for you to think about like, how long has this feeling or this attitude towards yourself been present in your life? Is it like a since you've started working? Was it there at school? Was it there as a young adult? How long has it been around?
Yeah, so I think it has been since I started working, and I think it really happened because I had quite a lot of ambition in one of my first jobs to keep moving up, but the only progressive way to keep moving up within that was to sort of ignore some of the things I was good at, which was more around the technical side of skills,
Yeah.
and to take on some of these more like presenting and um, public speaking sort of roles, which I was never that good of. But the only way to really move up within the company was to carry on doing that, and then I sort of carried on doing that role for a fair few years until I moved here, where now I'm doing a lot more technical work, more aligned to my skills. But yeah, it probably came from a bit from that, and then losing a bit of confidence because I definitely wasn't a natural. I think I'm a bit more of a introvert. It definitely was more, design those roles for extroverts, just constantly communicating. Um, and I think I got a bit of a sense there. It probably knocked me back a little bit from doing some of those roles. But I guess we'll move on to the next part. I do feel like I that was a while ago, and I have improved massively
Yeah.
on lots of those skills, which I definitely didn't have to start off with. Uh, but managed to improve on. So I think that's in general where it started from.
Okay. Okay. Well, and we'll come on to your improvement in a moment. But before we do, so these moments, like in your previous firm, when you're seeing all these opportunities and you're not applying for them, and you pick up like this extrovert, bias, right? The people love an extrovert, don't they? Was it like a realization for yourself? Oh, this feels like not my thing. Was it feedback from someone else? Was it um, something else that brought this to the fore for you?
No, I guess it was a bit of both. Um, definitely. I was aware that I wasn't like I definitely needed to upskill in improving in some of those situations. Yeah, I think I was told as well by certain, but other people in my team were told as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't like just me. Um, but so it's external and internal.
Okay. Okay. So all you introverts, go stand in that corner, right? Go do something else. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So well, if you've identified, then it's that sort of time period, when you can see that the world of work definitely favors an extrovert in, however good your technical skills are. What made you decide that you had to do something about it? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think it was actually when I came to my current job now, which I do love,
Mm.
and it's far more aligned to my skills. But there is still some public speaking element to it. I'd massively reduced it, and then that was sort of the final straw. I was like, okay, I really have to um, get over because I used to have lots of anxiety and stress around public speaking within meetings, etc. And I was like, I've got to get over this. I think also, then I started joining like public speaking groups. There was also the thing of, I think I was about to have some kids, and I was like, I can't be bothered to, I won't have time to stress about it this much anymore.
Okay.
This sort of, element of whenever there's a meeting coming up with this public speaking, I'm going to have to spend so much time prepping for it. So there's those two things. And that was, I guess, 4.5 years ago now, 5 years ago. But that's why I really was like, okay, I'm going to sort this out, basically.
Okay. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about sorting it out. From 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah. Now you're sitting here in a new job with two babies, and a track record as a public speaker now. So, what have you learned? What have you learned about, you know, like your word, how people perceive you? What have you learned about how people might perceive you based on all of your work you've done these last few years?
So how would people would perceive me now,
Yeah.
currently? I think I've had some good feedback around the public speaking actually, if I'm honest. So I think there was one I did maybe we have to do it to the whole company, our team, um, every quarter, and there's one I did maybe after like 2 3 years of practicing public speaking I did where I started people gave me some very good feedback, saying my presentations are really good, saying they're really clear. There were some other meetings where I was getting, um, yeah, some good feedback on how I was pitching, how I was delivering as well. Uh, so yeah, I think the perception has definitely changed actually, and I should probably acknowledge that a little bit more. Um, yeah, from where I was in my last job, where I think the perception definitely was a bit different, but I can understand that I hadn't spent any time improving those skills whatsoever.
Okay.
To yeah, well, I've taken some time to improve those skills. The perception has changed.
Okay. What happened there?
Now, yeah,
What was that? What was that moment of realization? I think that.
I think it's like not only is perception change. I think it's also like I'm trying to get really good at it now as well. It used to be something which I hated and didn't enjoy doing at all. And it's not just about public speaking, right? It is more, yeah, like I say, within meetings with senior people, just being able to communicate and express your ideas. Um, yeah. So I think, yeah, there's definitely has been a change. I'd say it probably is the last couple of years, actually. Yeah, started getting some good, very good feedback.
Okay. And the work to get to that stage was done by you, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was finally, work can be good, but trying to improve on some skills, it can sometimes be, um, yeah, stressful, and sometimes it's better just to get out of that work environment, trying to do it outside. And yeah, I put in some hours. Wife got annoyed every now and again for taking evenings off to go away for 3 4 hours, but um, yeah, I always found it. Every session I had, could slowly see improving and met lots of amazing people who are still trying to improve in it as well. Is yeah, quite inspiring.
And this is interesting, isn't it? Because you pick up, yeah, maybe in the public speaking club, but also at work, you pick up and notice people who are very good, but still carrying on, still pushing to improve. So let's talk about you in the context of that. Let's do a little numbers thing. Let's go 0 to 10, right? Let's imagine you 5 years ago in terms of your, let's call it your presence, right? Meetings and
Yeah,
public speaking. You score yourself on a low number, whatever that is, 1 or 2 or whatever, right? Let's take the people who you look at in the meetings, the senior people around, the people who you say they really have this presence, and let's score them high, right, 9 or 10 or whatever. Um,
yeah,
Score yourself now, compare it with how you would have scored yourself 4 years ago, and then also put a score on where you'd like to be.
yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so I'd say 5 years ago I probably was pretty low, two, three.
Yeah.
I probably started at zero, and within those, with before that, and then slowly moved up to around two or three. Yeah, but I think currently some of the people I look at, I mean, just as an example, so yeah, my boss at the moment, he recently did um, it was like a forum, like an event, speaking to loads of experts, and there was like 50 to 100 people in there. And I watched it back, and he's just, yeah, very confident, going through his slides, and then there was like 6 questions at the end. He just managed to answer them, all stunningly. Um, yeah, I think I'm probably around 6 to 7 now. I'd say if I'm, I think there's a bit of a way to go to get to that level within work environment. Yeah, I think there's some way to go.
So let's go like this, right? The journey from 0 to 2, that hard bit of work of going from 0 to anything, right? And then the journey from 2 to 6, what's the learning about doing those journeys that you've just done these last few years to get all the way from 0 to 6?
Yeah, I think going from zero to two. The reason why it was so painful is because I wasn't. I wasn't trying to improve on that skill at all. I thought it would just come naturally through just doing it at work. Um, but it didn't. And then going from 2 to 6, 7, that accelerated once I started building on these skills outside of work and taking time to develop those skills with courses and practicing. So yeah, the journey is, I guess, yeah, if you want to improve these skills and you need to start developing them outside of work,
Yes.
and taking some time to do that, which is quite a good realization. Does this then lead on to that's the sort of thing, if I want to get up to 9, 10, yeah, carrying on improving with other stuff outside of work?
I mean, there's two questions that occur to me. One is how you've managed to find the time to do this, because this is not your core role, is it? This is not your technical stuff. This is not your, leading the
Yeah.
project and all of that. This is the more personal stuff. So how have you found the time and energy and motivation to do this work these last few years?
Yeah, I mean, it has been, yeah, a bit of a sacrifice because it has been, yeah, taking 3, 4 hours out every fortnight. Um, but I think, yeah, the motivation, like I said, it came from just I really was done with feeling not confident and the anxiety which came around those sorts of things which I was doing, and I just didn't want to put up with that anymore, to be honest. Um, and so that was the motivation, and also, yeah, the motivation is also this job which I have now. I really really like it, but it's also, yeah, it's very tough, it's very challenging. There's everyone here is on top of their game and is on a day to day level as well. So you just need to keep going really and keep improving. Yeah, I think that's where the yeah, it was a bit of a sacrifice. But yeah, I had the motivation, and I still do. I think to keep on improving.
Okay, and let's talk about that in a minute then, about the idea of getting up to the sort of level that your manager's got. If you didn't, right, if you plateaued at this seven, right, which is seven,
Yeah,
seven more than zero, right? But if you plateaued, if you said, right, this is good enough, I now need to go and learn a whole load of other technical stuff. I haven't got time to focus on this, but you stuck at this seven level that you've got. Is that good enough for you?
I don't think so. I think, to be honest, there's probably a bit of plateauing for the last year or bit, mainly to do with kids.
Yeah.
But I've, yeah, I didn't like it very much, and I'm constantly trying to improve at whatever it is. That's why, again, yeah, this technical role is good. There's always new stuff to learn.
Yeah.
Every single day, you need to keep on improving. So yeah, I don't think I would be happy if I stayed at that
Okay.
6, 7.
Okay. So you're keen to have the new normal be a different number than seven.
Yeah, and I think, again, going back to what I used to be like, I think it wasn't a very good mindset, but I think mindset, early 20s was just towing is fine. But after after a few years of that, I think, yeah, it's not good for the soul or the mind, and you need to keep on improving.
And I hope this doesn't come as a leading question, but which means it probably will, right? Can you keep improving, but also be kind to yourself with where you're currently at?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and I think I am being a bit kind to myself. I think, yeah, with all that's going on um, yeah, I'm sure as every parent knows, there's nights when you don't sleep, there's times when everyone gets ill, and you just need to stop really and slow down. Um, so I think, yeah, I think so. I'm okay with the. Yes, that's a good point actually. I think I'm okay at the improving pace
Yeah.
slowing down a bit, but I'm not okay with it stopping, basically, and plateauing. But I'm definitely big on taking the time out. Yeah, to be kind to myself.
Okay. Okay. So you still want to have a plan. You still want to have improvement, but as you've got two under 2.5 that actually,
Yeah,
you can't throw yourself into a master's or whatever the equivalent is.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Right. So in order to shift your numbers up, what do you need? And I mean, if we look at a range of things, is it like an attitude motivation thing? Is it a series of activities you need to do? It a project plan? Is it something else? So what do you think you need so that you can see that you're carrying on improving?
Yeah, I think I think there's the technical side of it which I just need to keep going at. Again, it's about so what a bit of a side, but it's about being motivated. I think on a daily basis,
Mm.
and when I do come into work, making sure I'm productive. So we had someone come in yesterday about productivity, and I'm trying to make sure that um, I put some of that into practice. But yeah, I think it's also just about being a bit more outspoken on ideas and where I want projects to go. And then I think yeah, that thing I spoke about earlier, then trust will build, and I'll be able to I'll start being picked for these bigger projects as opposed to having to kind of force myself onto them, which is what everyone does to start off with, right?
Yeah.
But um, yeah, so I think around being productive every day. I think there's still the lots of stuff around public speaking, but I think I've got over the hurdle of the anxiety and the low confidence, and now it is about just being truly expressive with ideas, not holding them back so much, not having so much of a filter. And yeah, like I said, just being able to share ideas and thoughts um, with confidence. And on those bigger projects as well, just being, sure myself that okay, this is a very complex task, lots of people involved, but you know, if you just sit down and think it through, you often do come to a good solution for these things.
Okay. Okay. So thank you for that. So just to pick up the threads then, it sounds like what you're saying is to to carry on to develop your numbers, to be prepared to do the speaking up, to not sit in the chair, but to speak up. And is that in meetings and volunteering for presentations? What are the arenas you can do this speaking up in?
Um, you mean how can I improve at it,
No, I mean
or
like 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 the environment, the circumstances, the opportunities.
Yeah, so I think it's to be honest, there is the meetings which I have, within our team. There's also in emails, so like there's lots of working from
Yeah.
home at the moment, but um, this new role, I am being attached to a lot of the big cases within the email, and it's just being letting my thoughts known. Um, often sometimes someone will write something in email, and I've thought about it, but I've been like, eh, are you 100% sure? Do you? So just having that confidence to yeah put it down on paper, write it out, and even if there are all the most senior people in the
Yes.
company on this email chain, it's okay. It's still
Yes.
okay. Just so yeah. So I guess one thing is what would it be then? Would it be just getting my thoughts more often on these email chains, or I don't know, being I guess the ultimate action output is that I am more vocal in some of these bigger uh, thought discussions.
Okay. And well, okay, so you can see a vision of like being able to be out there in these environments. What
Yeah.
about and what about in the increasing improving of the skills? You know, the way you talked about your man on the stage and Q&As and slides and all the rest of it. What do you need to have in your plan so that you carry on improving in your skills?
Yeah, so I think I do think carrying on with public speaking is good. I think I'm probably at a point where I need to start pushing myself a bit more on that. Again, like I said, being being kind to myself. But yeah, I'm definitely at a point where I can start writing speeches a lot quicker, taking on any roles, trying out in different clubs. So yeah, just start pushing boundaries a bit more there. Um, I think the technical skills that comes down to, again, I was discussing a bit about just making sure I'm very productive because at 6 o'clock dinner's got to be made, nappies have got to be changed. So I need to make sure that those like what was it 8.5 hours are super productive. So that's one thing I'm trying to get big on, and that will help improve the um, technical side of it, and then all that will give me confidence that within these big thought ideas which are going on, I've improved my technical skills, I've improved my presence, and I should then start being more vocals in these chats.
Fab. Well, thank you for that. I'm mindful of the time, and I think we're sort of coming towards the end. And there's one open tab that I just wanted to check in on before we look at your all the actions, all those things you scribbled down. As you used at the beginning the word perceived, right? How you're perceived. Now,
Yeah.
what I'm wondering is whether you have to like do you have to go and find out actually how you're perceived, as in ask people, talk to them, get all that, the dreaded 360 in there? Or is it enough for you to know, actually, I know how I'm putting it out, so I know that I'm going to be perceived. So do you need, what I'm saying is, I suppose, do you need an external measure or is an internal measure good enough?
Um, I think an external measure would be nice, but I don't think that really happens too much. So I think it will have to come internally, yes. And I think a lot of that came from, this was a new industry which I came over to, a very competitive industry, and I was very new. I mean, I was experienced in terms of the fact I've been, working a few years, but I was, brand new to this industry. So that's where a little bit of um, low confidence in how I'm being perceived. But yeah, I think internally, if I work on these things, it will change that perception. And yeah, being honest, it has. Yeah, there's a few things we discussed, right? It has changed. Um, I've had some good feedback around public speaking, so you know, that is good. And internally, it is slowly starting to change. I just need to keep, yeah, doing these things which we've just discussed, and I think it will.
Okay, and that was, I mean, genuinely, that wasn't a leading question. It was only because you used the word perceived. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, some people love to go off and have a 360, but many of us love to just, trust that actually what you're putting out there is good enough. Okay, so we're coming towards the end of our time. Let's talk about the actions. And you've noted some things down. So what are the specific actions you're going to take from today?
So I think, yeah, definitely actions around the productivity. Like I said, we had a session on it a few weeks ago. I haven't really put them into practice too much yet. So, you know, get on this and put them into practice. Um, yeah, pushing myself a bit more around the public speaking, um, which can be going to other clubs and trying out different sort of speeches. But yeah, I can definitely improve there. And then yeah, I think the action hopefully from that will be that I will give more feedback within meetings, which can be in person, or like I said, a lot of these are happening over email, different teams in different places. Just being more confident then to be able to give my opinion within those. Um, yeah, that would be good.
Okay. So you've got a series of actions in terms of micro behaviors, and then you've got action specific things like project plan stuff for your public speaking. Okay. How are you going to track and monitor like the usefulness and I suppose specifically around, watching your numbers go up?
So how am I going to track if I'm getting to a nine?
Yeah, yeah. If you're gradually nerdling your way up towards that nine, yeah.
I think I would definitely know because there's definitely I'd start to be involved in more conversations. I would start to just lead a few more projects. I would start to give um, more opinions, whether they're technical or just like a all round general opinion. And speaking up a bit more with ideas which I have to help our team and help the business basically.
Okay. And what would success look like? I'm imagining, right, over an average week, right? Let's say that you have 10 opportunities, via email or in meetings or whatever to do one more thing. Is it doing it all 10 times? Is it doing three of the times? Is it doing six of the times? Like what would be
Yeah, I think if I started doing all 10 at the time, I think there'd be like,
you've been
you
on a
know,
course, mate.
just yeah. Um, but yeah, no, I definitely feel, I'm currently in terms of just responding in some of these like thought is probably is around like one,
Yeah.
two. So just getting them up to three, four, five. Um, that would be good.
Yes.
That'd be progress.
Okay. So it's definitely, yeah, like you say, going in the right direction for you. Okay.
Yes.
So and this project plan you've written, what are you looking forward to about any of these aspects? What excites you?
Well, excited. I think yeah, like I say, I really like the work which I do. It would be exciting to get on some of these bigger projects. That would be good. That would be really good, and I'd find it really enjoyable, problem solving and helping our team and helping our business. That's ultimately why I'm doing all of this is because I do enjoy what I'm doing. So I just like to get very very good at it, basically.
So these things, these personal skills are going to give you like the access to have more interesting job opportunities in the way that you're going to work.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And as we come to the end, what's been your learning? What are you taking away as a learning from today's conversation?
To do more coaching. I think in general it's no, I do think it's great because I never like you sort of like just think about these things sort of in the background, don't you? Like, oh, I do want to get better at that. I do want to get better at that. But you never sit down and hash it out and get your thoughts out there. And then having someone like you is great, just be able to help put it all together. Um, is really really helpful. But yeah, I've learned lots. Um, about why I wanted to do this in the first place. Probably wasn't that sure on it, but it is to do with my role and how much I like my role. What opportunities will come from it as well, which is really good. I haven't thought about too much, and then just putting it together into those action points as to yeah what could work. Again, I'd had these all here and there, but knowing that it's all going towards one goal is good. It's nice.
Well, thank you, and thank you for working hard. I appreciate you saying it's a coaching, but these are your ideas and these your thoughts and
Yeah,
your moments and your realizations. So thank you for getting stuck in, and I hope these things go well. My last comment is, as a suggestion is, keep that piece of paper open because often people say after a coaching session in the next 24 hours, the thoughts carry on evolving and more ideas might pop up than that we've talked about.
yeah, nice. We'll do.
Is here a good place to leave it? Is here a good place to finish?
Yeah, it's very good. It's very
Brilliant.
good.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you so much, Ryan. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Charlie. Cheers.